Good
I
morning,
like
y'all.
that.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That came
That's
in
right.
pretty cool. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. I am Alex Bailey. This is John Fuller. We are having our Real Estate 101 Saturday edition, which we're looking at making this our main edition because
Mhm.
if y'all been following us, you may have noticed we haven't done a couple shows here the last couple weeks, and that's because Wednesday's just a tough day. There's so much going on business-wise. You're right in the middle of the week, and
Yes.
John and I have all the deals and things we're working on. So it's like, I can't do it today because I got payroll, I got employees, so I think the Saturday format might work out better for us.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So that's where we are today. So here we are. Happy Labor Day, everybody.
Yes, happy Labor Day.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Man, it's just nothing to talk about in real estate, though, John. That's the sad thing for today's show. There's just nothing going on real estate wise. I can't think of a single thing we can talk about. I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
Oh
Anything
my
we can?
goodness, man! It's so that's funny. One thing, people are buying homes right now. Two, the rates are still low right now.
Yeah.
It's really wild out here how things are going. I got 4 deals up there right now, trying to get them to the table, and the banks are doing their thing. They're a little understaffed, but they trying to get them to the closing table. One of the things I want to talk about today, Alex, is the patience of the people. Make sure the people, when you're going out there getting that loan, be patient, especially if you ain't coming to the table with 20% down and you ain't got the best credit scores. You most definitely have to be patient out here, and let
Right.
the bank do what they do, because I used to be in the mortgage business, and I understand that they got to eat. So one of the things about that is, if I got a 700, 800 credit score here, and I got a 620 here, you know which one I'm going to work on first.
Right. If you got so many of those higher credit score deals to work on, you may not get to some of the lower deals because the pace is fast and furious. I know this is anecdotal, but I've been reading this week. If you are in some states, the title today is the real estate market is wild. It's some states it's famine, and some states it's feast,
Yeah.
depending on where you are. And there is this mass exodus, and we've had this theme on our show for a long time now, but it's really picking up the pace where you can't get a moving truck out of New York City. You
Wow.
can't because they all drive out, but nobody drives them back.
Wow.
There's normally for every one person that goes out, somebody else is
That's
bringing
not
the
going back.
truck back, but they're not bringing them back. They're going to hire people to drive their trucks back, and the rates going out are skyrocketing, and the rates coming back in are almost, you could have it for free as long as you get it back to us.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
crazy.
Wow. And you had mentioned to me earlier during the week, you had said South Carolina was like ranked number 5
Number 4.
number 4 is that the nation, you told me?
South Carolina is the number 4 state in the nation for inbound moves. Hi, Becky. I just chatted you back there. So there was a recent survey done, and I can pull up this article if you'll give me a moment. But of all the top 10 states where people are moving into, number 1 is Vermont.
Okay.
Because Vermont's close to all the cities people are trying to get out of,
Yeah.
and it's rural and it's cheap, and nice and pretty. And then it's Florida, Texas, South Carolina.
Wow.
And I find that interesting is that because Florida and Texas have no state income tax. So yeah, if you're going to move, you might as well. You could work if you could do this. I mean, I could be live streaming you from Mexico or Russia. You would have no idea where I'm located right now. And that's a lot of people's jobs are totally done on Zoom and their web browser. So they don't care where they live. And if you could do your work from anywhere, where would you live? Is the question that people are asking themselves. And you want to live where it's safe, beautiful weather, nice people, low taxes.
Well, I tell you, it's hot in South Carolina right now, but I like South Carolina.
Yesterday, man, I saw a car on fire on the side of the road on 26, and I looked down at the thermometer. My car is 102.
Oh,
I think it just spontaneously combusted.
yeah.
But I think we broke it. I think today it's 10 degrees cooler, and then we're starting to get into the fall weather, hopefully after this past Friday. But so you're either living in a city where you can't sell your house to save your life unless you do drastic price cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the condo market in Miami, they had 300 months of inventory on those $500,000 to $700,000 really nice condos.
Wow.
300 months of inventory. That's
Wow.
that's a
And
long time.
but for an investor, that's good because now you can come up in there and get some of that property as
Right.
an investor, as long as you can, cash
Wouldn't
flow.
wouldn't buy it this month because it's not done dropping. It's like catching the falling knife scenario. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
dropped my knife. Don't let it fall. Don't try and grab it on its way down.
Yeah.
Let it fall and then hit it at the bottom.
Well, I tell you what, that's some good information. Alice is most definitely a researcher. So hey, y'all stay into the show, and we'll let you know when to buy.
That's right. That's right. Well, if you want to buy in South Carolina or you want to buy in Texas or Florida or one of those states, you better get going
Yeah.
because it also, if you're a seller in those markets, don't be desperate. They're going to be they'll be a bidding war on your house, perhaps.
Yeah.
You just can tell. If your house isn't now, if your house needs a lot of work, that might be a different story. But if you've got a nice little dollhouse, on a corner with nice curb appeal,
Mm-hmm.
man. Oh, look, we've got a guest, John.
Who we got?
That's Van.
What's up, Van?
How about we bring Van into the podcast?
Let's get Van in. How you doing today, man?
Hey,
Here we go.
day, man.
There's the
How
man.
you
Let
how
me
you
change
feeling,
my
man?
screen.
Oh man, you got the Hollywood shades on, and
No, these are
That's
prescription.
right.
oh, you got the Hollywood prescription on.
That's right.
Man glasses on now, man.
How
That's
you doing
right.
today, man?
I
Hmm?
want to take off these
How you
overlays.
doing today?
I'm in pain, man. You know, I had that back surgery, man, on Monday.
Oh man.
Major back surgery, yeah, man. So I'm just happy when you mentioned that. I said, you know what? Let me just go outside, sit on the patio, and talk a little bit, man.
Oh, so that's not a green screen. You're really in the outside.
This is me, yeah. See,
That's sweet. Sweet. All
That's
right.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Van, you're in New York, New Jersey. Where you at right now?
Right now I'm in New Jersey. I'm
New Jersey.
up in northern Jersey, up in the mountains. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, where's home for you?
Well, of course, I'm from Spartanburg, South Carolina, but
Right.
home here is actually West New York, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
Are you in touch with the real estate market up there?
I am. I am. Just because the COVID slowed everything down for us up here, man. I mean, things were going good, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Well, all those new taxes that are coming into New Jersey, that's going to help pay for all that.
Yeah, well, I hope.
Dude, they're raising your gas taxes, your capital gains taxes. I mean, your gas taxes, I think, have gone up like over 100% in the last 5 years.
I just found out about that. And Jersey has some of the cheapest gas in this area.
Uh-huh.
And you find out little things. I'm like, but now that's just the gas tax. When you look at state tax, I explained to John this last year. We were talking about it, where a 2,000 square foot out, a 1,500 square foot house in South Carolina might run you, let's just say, $800 to $1,200 a year in taxes. Up here, it is on average about 10,000 a
Yeah.
year in taxes. So when you're talking about calculating, your PMI and all of that, you got to take into consideration that your mortgage insurance is basically it's high, and then your taxes is a car payment or a house payment by itself. So,
Van, let everybody know, man, your background. I mean, you worked at the major banks. You are a banker. You let them know your background because we're talking.
well, yeah, I started out as a mortgage processor years ago. For what's the name of that company we had? First something more. I can't think of it. I was in Spartanburg. I was working for Mr. Charles Reams at the time, and as a mortgage processor, I worked my way up from there to loan originator, and then I stepped out and started a company with one of the other loan officers that was there, Kevin Jones.
Yeah.
God rest his soul, is a good guy. He took me under his wing. I was his mortgage processor for a while, and then because I was still learning the business, and then it got to the point where I was working 15 hours a day, 16 hours. Now I was making a lot of money at the time, because he was paying me per deal, so it was working out really good. But I was doing most of the work, and then I realized, well, why am I doing all this work? My partner's out playing golf in the office. Now, mind you, I'm fresh out of college also. Uh,
Mhm.
at that time, I think I was making about 5,000 a month, something like that, just as a processor. So that was a lot of money for, a 21-year-old fresh out of college. And so then I told Kevin, either we're gonna do something different on the partnership, or I'm gonna start my own mortgage company, because I knew everybody. I dealt with all the executives and all the people myself. And so I forced his hand. He had to make me his 50/50 partner.
Yeah.
And now I hired me somebody to become my processor. I became more of an originator at that time and went from there. But then, we had another reset, John. I can't remember what year that was. Like as we're going through now, I call them resets with the
Yeah.
government. You know, you know,
That's a kind word.
yeah, yeah,
To reset.
a reset, yeah. And so when we had that reset, Alex, I said, well, damn, we can't beat the banks now because they tried to put all kind of sanctions on mortgage brokers. So I said, if you
Mhm.
beat the banks, you might as well join the bank. Because before that, remember, I was basically, the game was then was I would challenge my customers to go, go to Bank of America, Wachovia at the time, pay that $150 process, mortgage process um, approval fee, and they give you approval, then come see me. So I would take that approval, go on my wholesale list, and get them a better deal than they had from the loan officer in the retail in the bank.
Right.
Wholesale. So that's how I was stealing all the customers. I was stealing the bank's customers. I was like, and they were saying, man, this guy can get you even better than the bank, at the bank. And so,
Right.
and so that's how that kind of went about, man. And then again, the reset happened. Then I said, okay, we can't beat the bank. Then I joined the bank, and I started working for Blue Ridge Savings Bank. I missed that job. That was a good job, man. All I had
Yeah,
to
we had a lot of loans going through Blue Ridge.
all I had to
Yeah.
focus on. Now, remember, we're jumping years, John.
Yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. I just wanted people to know your background when you're talking about the mortgage and stuff.
Yeah, I ain't even throwing your year, our years together, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I jumped to Blue Ridge Savings Bank. I sold money to builders and developers, which is what I love to do, because they don't talk politics. All they care about is, man, I need this 300,000 to build this house. Okay, the money's there. That's all they care about, and they're happy, and they just refer you to other builders. So I built my network of business just off of Blue Ridge, and
Yeah.
of course, when 2008 hit, that's when the mortgage crisis was happening, and boom, Van, you the last one in, so you're gonna be the first one to go. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I went to
It's the
Sun.
worst sometimes.
Yeah, but that's kind of my background. So I've been from the processor. I learned how to underwrite loans, being a commercial loan officer with Blue
Mhm.
Ridge. That we had to underwrite our own stuff pretty much. All our in-house underwriter did was basically make sure everything was in the file. So we had to pre-underwrite it and all that first. So I have experience in all of that.
Well, one of the questions I wanted to ask, and I think some of the things that we got going on now, I got 4 deals going right now, and it's real slow. And I know it was kind of slow when y'all were fully staffed in the bank, and you guys look at certain loans. But what do you think about now, man? The rate's so low, everybody getting buying houses, everybody coming, and we got COVID, and we almost understaffed now. In the
But,
banking.
but technically, you are understaffed. On the back side of things is, you're expecting people to do the same amount of work when they were slam packed before. I mean, I would literally, John, bring I would ask my underwriters, hey, listen, what you want for lunch today?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or, bring her donuts just so I can, hey, look, I need that file done today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have a stack of files on her desk. I mean, probably a foot high or 2 feet high that she had to go through and fine comb and make sure everything's in there. All the
Right.
dotted and T's across. So, because her job is on the line, or his job is on the line, so they don't rush through those things.
Right.
So I can only imagine how it is now with the COVID. A lot of people are working from home.
Yes.
You got the TV up, or you really, I think customers really have to be a little more patient.
Whoop.
You want to, what?
There he goes.
Because of the situation we're in, that the rates are lower and people trying to get in before they jump back up, but they're gonna have to be a little more patient right now because of what's going on.
Van, do you think that also the process of getting that loan through is more picky in terms of what the bank is going to approve?
I think that the banks are still probably doing what my bank used to do. Okay, now we're not supposed to red line, we're not supposed to do all these things, but I would guarantee you that they're probably cherry picking those loans, the ones with the least amount of exposure, first. I would
Right.
guarantee on that, because remember, the government is asking these banks to do these PPP loans. They're asking these guys to do all these different types of things to help businesses out. So, and most of them are already scared to do those because they know the people are not going to pay back. I mean, you went from 100 capacity restaurant, now you can only have 25 people in there. You're not going to make that kind of money. You get it?
That's me.
See?
That's me. Restaurant owner. I
Yeah.
got a PPP loan, and the bank has repeatedly come back to me and said, we're not even ready for you to try to put in the application
Yeah.
to receive forgiveness, because we're thinking they're going to pass a law to forgive everybody at $150,000 loan and under just because,
That's
with
right.
no application.
That's
But
right.
I had a restaurant. I had to lay people off. People wouldn't come in. I can't let them in the door. So
Right.
how am I supposed to serve them?
I
So
get it. So I think they're being very picky, and I
yeah.
think because if you're not on the inside, actually one of my books is going to be called "On the Inside." I'm going to write a book about some of the things that they do that most consumers don't know about. But when you're in loan committee and you're trying to get this deal done, I mean, it's not always about your merit, when it should be all about your merit, but it isn't, and so they look at little things. So yeah, they're being picky. I would, yes.
I got a deal right now where I got a loan that's going through, and the customer was getting frustrated, and the guy at the bank basically told me, look, man, I got so many deals, I really don't have time for a frustrated customer. If they're not understanding that what we're going through to take the time and get me what I'm asking for, I'm just gonna kill the deal. I'm just gonna kill the deal because they got so many deals out here. And that's one word I want to put out to the customers now is you guys got to be patient. I mean, if you in the low 600s and you competing with the 700s, like the guy told me, he said, man, I don't have time for a frustrated customer. When I ask for what I want. If you getting frustrated, then I'm gonna kill the deal. I got plenty of business.
Move on to the next one, right? And I mean, bad but true.
Your customers just need to be prepared. Like, while you're waiting, why don't you keep improving your credit? Keep getting yourself stronger as a buyer. Because here's the other thing that people don't see. We're talking about the front end processing, but the bank has loans on their books.
Yes.
And a lot of those loans in their books are going into forbearance. And they've been in forbearance at a higher rate than 2007, 2008.
That's right.
When it was real bad. So they're worried about, wait, how much money do we have to set aside for loan loss reserves? Because these things are going to go south.
Yeah.
So we're having this tale of two markets where it's boom time in the South and suburbs and rural areas, and it's the worst of times in the big cities. And these loans are going to default.
Let me tell you guys something. I don't mean to cut you off, Alex.
No, go ahead.
When I drive, because I have a limousine service. when I'm driving through the city, when I tell you the amount of for rent signs that are up there in those cities now, some of the major attorney law firms that I drive for, they're just starting now, you know, having meetings because they're cutting staff. They're like, listen, you know, these guys that are doing, they're productive from their phones now and from home, and we don't need the commercial space. I mean, really, it's just a waste of money. You know what I mean? So they're cutting costs, man. They're doing the best they can. Because remember, you go from, I told you, like, there's a friend of mine, you know, has you know real estate in the city, and you're talking $7,000 a month for a 1 bedroom rent.
Yes.
So see, now what happened to that person's job? You see what I'm saying? That's renting the place for 7,000. Not to mention the owner of it who's got a mortgage, I'm sure. You see, so it's just a trickle down effect. Right now, I think they still have a moratorium on you know, foreclosures and stuff right now because of
evictions of renters.
Yeah, eviction of renters. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, but now the flip side of that is when they release all of that, the renter's still going to owe the same
because it's only deferred. It's not forgiven.
That's right. So I'm personally getting myself prepared, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you are, but there's going to be a lot of foreclosures out here, and I'm excited.
Right.
I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited too, man. I'm seeing so much stuff happening out here on this market. Get your cash together. I mean, get your cash together because you're going to be able to buy some stuff out here.
Yep.
You really are going to be able to buy some stuff across the country. You know, I go across the country. One of the things, like I say, I tell my customers that I'm working with inside the program, of course, you know, let's get the credit score up. Because, you know, Credit Karma, we use a lot of the Credit Karma, but their score is not as accurate, Van, as what we were sending to you when you was at SunTrust, when you was at the bank. They're a little bit lower than what when you pull. Your score is a little bit lower than what you pull. That score is a little bit higher. So you might think you got a 620, 630, but really you got a 580, 600, you know, when it comes to banking terms. So I tell people that's in the program, is like, you know, continue working with it. Don't think because you see that 620 at Credit Karma, I'm ready to go. Because there's other factors involved in this. Because one that we just said, I understand how once you get to the bank, what they're gonna cherry pick the loan. So therefore, you're gonna be at the bottom of the pack compared to somebody with a 700, 800 credit scores.
I just wish we had, not to cut you off, John, I just wish we had some type of mortgage reform or credit reform. You know, I think we really need to go back to where we used to be, John, when we first started. Alex, I'm not sure when exactly you got into the business, but I remember back in 1996 when there was a credit score there on that credit report. But nobody used that. I mean, what the hell is that number? You understand? Alex, I can't tell you the amount of people that I used to pull credit for that would have perfect credit, but they had too much credit supposedly, and they would have a 560 score, right? Yes. And then you have that with 2 accounts open with the 700. You haven't proven yourself not one little bit.
Yeah,
100 score. I mean, to me, I'm not a credit expert. You know, I have helped credit repair in the years in the past the old way, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Like something needs to be done with that.
Well, the thing is, Van, what's going on now is you have to let that credit utilization. You have to keep that down under that 20% mark to get that maximum score on that in that payment history.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
my point. My point is you need credit so you can use the credit, right?
Right.
So that's the whole point of getting credit, because I need to use it. So it doesn't matter if I'm using it. It shouldn't matter if I'm using it or not. I'm still paying my bills.
Right.
Go back to the old standard. If you're 1 times 30 on your credit card, then you're A minus. If you're 1 time, you see, we need to that because again, like I told you, I had people that had low credit scores, John, and they might have had a lot of credit cards, but they paid them. I mean, credit about how well you pay your bills. I should have a high credit score.
It got away from the matrix, and it got more to a personal opinion of the underwriter making that decision personally. Because what happened with the underwriter, Van, you know just as well as I know, they had to buy them loans. So if I'm an underwriter, I'm buying a loan, I had to buy this loan back. You know, even with us, even when we was in the mortgage business, we do a loan, we were tied to that loan. And we had to buy that loan. Fortunately, I didn't have to buy any back, but I do know people that had to buy them loans back. So you make that decision, it changed your mindset when you're looking at that. You know, so you start making more personal decisions instead of going off that matrix that they sent us.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm with you. I agree with all that you're saying. I agree with it. And so that's how they judge us. I'm just simply saying, you don't know if I have mailbox money. I might have 10,000 credit card debt, but I might be sitting on 50 grand in my safe over here. I'm just paying. Didn't matter. I pay my time. I should be rewarded for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And what you're saying is real true. The thing is, we got to get people more educated on the whole process. From that level all the way up to, you know, how you raise your credit to that next level, all the way up to if I don't have credit, but I need enough cash over here. And that's why we teach. And we're doing this live stream. I'm bringing you on. We're doing this thing because I teach people how to buy with equity, and you know that. You know, so if you buy with the equity, so your credit does matter, but it don't matter as much as it would if you buy with no equity or you buying at 100%. Right. I know Alex real big on people should put money down. They shouldn't get that 100% loan because of the fact that, you know, you got no equity.
Okay.
You know, no equity in loan.
And tell your customers those what you're talking about right now, those loans are gonna get looked at first before the ones that are at 100%.
Oh yeah,
basically the rule of the day is if you're not prepared to be a good buyer, they don't need your business.
Yeah, they don't need your business.
They don't need your business. So if you're scraping along with a 580 credit score, no money down, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. You're going to be waiting. Don't you get testy or you will get dropped.
That's right.
Because we don't have to have you because I can't process all the good customers.
Yes.
Right.
And that's just the rule. It's just a supply and demand issue. And they're not going to add a bunch more staff because I had this conversation with John. You don't drop a new mortgage broker in like, let's hire a guy, put him on the desk today, and he's going to start processing mortgages. It does not work like that.
No, I don't.
It's like if you want a house, you can't decide you want it tomorrow and start building. It's going to take you 6 months to have that thing ready.
Right.
And by that time, this wave may have died down.
Right.
So they're kind of slow to hire until they see what's going to happen on the market.
And then some you just said, Alex, if you do own that 6 months, they used to tell us this is where I worked for a company back in the day, always be accepted to change. Because within those 6 months that you're preparing, there's going to be some changing going on when you're preparing to build this house or buy this house. Something's going to come about dealing with the banking industry, dealing with the real estate market. Something's going to happen. So you got to be available and be accepted to change. Going into that, waiting to prepare for those 6 months.
If you really want a house, like people say, I really would like to learn how to be a black belt in Taekwondo. Okay, well, it's going to take you 2.5 years, and you have to practice every day, you know, 5 days a week to get there. You going to do that? Well, I don't know if I want to do all that. It's kind of the same thing. If you want this house, you slash all necessary expenses. You pay your bills on time. You start saving $1,000 a month to build up that down payment to be able to do it.
And the reserves. And the reserves is so important right now.
Reserves are listen.
Right.
That's one thing. Reserves is something else.
I call reserves. I say cash is king when you got those reserves.
Yes.
Because as your loan officer, when I have to go present your loan to the loan committee, the first thing I mention before I mention it, well, that's not the first thing. I usually come in with the bad stuff first, you know, the negatives, but then the first positive I hit them with is, however,
yes,
has 26 months of reserves, and they're like, that makes all the difference, bro. It makes all the difference.
And something I want to say that you just said that popped in my mind while you were talking. You guys are listening. You see, Van was a loan officer, and Van went to the loan committee. Do you see how he used to how to sell that loan? It's very important that you guys get in touch with your loan officer and become a friend with them, because they're the ones that making that sale for you. And it's going to be more important going forward that you have somebody on your team who can help make that sale for you when you buying this house. And Van, that was a perfect example. What you said, like you went in, you go in the loan committee because that's the way you eat. But you're making that sale for them. You're selling that customer.
And you sitting in there sometime with the bank president, the chairman of the board, your underwriter, everybody who's gonna have a influence on this particular loan is in that committee with you, except for your processors. They're out there working because they got a stack on their, they got to get out of there, right? So they're working, but they'll pull them out from their job to come do loan committee. And again, have a good relationship with a good rapport with your loan officer.
Good rapport, yes.
The second thing, all truth. Okay, now I eat by selling money to you.
Right.
So if I can't get that money, so I don't eat.
That's right.
So as long as you tell me all the details, don't hold nothing out. Don't think we're not gonna find it because they're gonna.
That's your job, is to find it.
So funny. It's like, well, if I don't tell him about this bankruptcy I had, I'm sure he won't find out.
Because see, sometimes there are loopholes.
Yes.
Right.
Programs, right, at the bank. Well, guess what? If I catch it before it gets to the underwriter, then I can maybe put a Band-Aid on it.
Right.
You see?
Right.
But tell me, once it gets to her, once it gets to him, the underwriter, hey, they can't, hey man.
And I know this we know this, but I want to say this to the people that you're listening. What Van just said, if he catch it before it get to the underwriter, you got to understand the underwriter have a lot of deals on their table. When they catch that, it goes to the bottom of the pile.
Oh yeah.
And they don't have time to sit there and for you to sit there and explain to them why you got this bankruptcy. That's why you got a loan officer. So you got to be able to tell him everything you need to know so he can go fight for you once it get to the underwriter. But if he don't know and that underwriter pops up and see this on that credit or see something, you just go buy a new car and the underwriter sees something pops up on there, your deal go all the way back down to the bottom.
Because you embarrassed your loan officer in front of the underwriter.
You embarrassed your loan officer.
Not just that. Not only have you messed yourself up, now the underwriter's watching me now because guess what? I was supposed to catch that before even.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's why you're embarrassed because he's like, why didn't you know this?
Everything I bring through now is being scrutinized now. And make sure you check that. You see what I'm saying? So tell me the truth.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it from there. I'll ask questions, make sure, I might ask an off-the-wall question, the generic question to the underwriter. Oh, well, if they got this, okay, well, just have them bring me this, and this, and we can use that. Oh, no problem. So now when it gets to underwriter, that's that. Because,
one of the things that I teach in my program is I put together a finance portfolio for them. So that in that finance, I do it for a reason. I'm not even a loan officer anymore, but I know what the loan officer needs. So when I put together that finance portfolio, it shows everything, your whole history is right there in that one book. Right. So whenever the underwriter start talking to you, then I educate you also. We go ahead and fill the 1003 out for you. We do all that for you. So when you do get to the underwriter or get to the loan officer, you are just as prepared and you are more educated. And he asking you questions, DTI and stuff like that you should already know. Because I always tell people this in my program, it's not the bank job to educate you. You should already be educated when you walk in there.
Right.
You want their money. you're trying to get their money. So you should be educated. And Van, that with you being a loan officer and working inside the bank, that's important, correct? That an educated person come up in there already prepared.
Well, listen, the way we look at it is, first of all, you should already know the way you start with me is how you're gonna finish with me. If you come in there, I would tell Bill, hey, don't bring me stuff written down in pencil, man. Let's get your assistant or somebody type all this stuff in here. Because if you give me bits and pieces, like you said, the underwriter I'm trying to get it through. I mean, I got that done last week. Okay, I'm trying, but you didn't give me a full package. You gave me
right
now. Where is this? I look like an a-hole. You see, or so again, and all that does also is tell the underwriter this guy isn't professional.
Right.
They don't have their stuff. So why should I sign off on this $500,000 loan.
Yeah, halfway put a package together.
Yeah, this guy's half doing stuff now. Can he really build that house, or is he going to half-ass that house also?
So the overriding theme here is you need to be prepared. You need to have your finances together. You need a nice, beautiful package with a bow on it, with a box of donuts given to your mortgage person, or you're not going to get a deal done.
And also, Alex, you need to be educated. You need to be educated on this process. I mean, this is the largest investment you're going to make. I don't care how much money you got. Your house is going to be the largest investment you're going to make at any time. If you're a millionaire, it's still the largest investment you're going to make at that one given time. You need to be educated on that particular system and how it works. And that's one of the things we teach. Read, get educated, know as much as you can, talk to people, learn this industry. If you're going to buy that house.
And on a not to cut you off, Alex, and on a different show, we can have another show to talk about if you want that special treatment.
Yeah.
Right.
I take the donuts in there, man. Okay. I'll take the donuts to the I'll give you the donuts and take you to lunch and
we'll teach
what is
it, Chop House? 48 Chop House? Yeah, I'll take you to Chop House.
All right, so we're 36 minutes in the live stream here, so let's go ahead and wrap up for our guest today here. I like this time, John. I don't know about you, but the Saturday morning's a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
So let's stick with that, and we'll post for another 11:30 Saturday morning show next week, but post it more in advance. Give all of our folks that follow a time to know that we're going to be in. But 11:30 next Saturday after Labor Day weekend, we'll get together again, and we'll knock around some topics. We'll know what we're going to be talking about, and we'll post in about 3 or 4 days here. Man, thanks for coming from New Jersey. Hope you're not long for New Jersey. Hope you get back down to another one of the top 4 states.
Yes, sir.
Pretty soon.
You hear that, Van? That South Carolina ranked number 4.
Yeah, number 4 in inbound moves.
And what now?
South Carolina is the number 4 state for inbound moves.
Oh, wow.
So people, when they leave another state, they're going to go Vermont, Texas, Florida, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 states. And Vermont only because it's closer to the other states people are leaving. It's a short drive.
Well, I'm ready to come back also, but y'all got to get y'all COVID numbers back down first before I come.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
All right.
Guys, it's good talking to you, and we will see you again next week.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
All right, guys.
Next Saturday. All right. We appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.